The way of English, the power presentation. What makes your presentation powerful? How to make your presentation inspirational. TED has the three principles. You have to make your speech emotional, exciting. Number two, make your speech novel, up to date. Number three, to make your speech memorable so you can keep it in the back of your mind forever. Is that possible? My side of the story is you got to have the rhythm, you got to have a melody, the storyline, and then have a rhythm, and then put them all together in sort of a harmony. So let me explain one by one. The first, emotion, novelty, and memorability. Emotion! To make your speech emotional, you got to have a choice between making other people laugh or making other people weep or cry like a baby. It depends on the content of the speech. To make other people laugh, you got to say something funny. But you can't afford to make it too funny. People might freeze. So you got to have a choice between tears and laughter. So the good speech is sort of the speech that makes you feel excited and make you feel part of the speech you're listening to. That's the emotional part of the speech. So emotion goes a long way toward capturing the hearts and minds of our audience. Emotions versus logic. Of course, there's a certain elements of the rhythm between logic and emotion. You got to have it both ways. Otherwise, if you get too emotionally, personally involved, you tend to get carried away at the expense of your audience. You won't be able to get close to the hearts and minds of your audience if you are too lopsided to either way, logic and emotion. So, to make your speech exciting, emotional, that's a critical part of the speech. Everyone who listens to the TED Talk is sort of expecting to hear something that is emotionally involving. So that's the first rule you have to keep in mind. Novelty, to keep you in touch with reality, to make your speech up to date. Here you have a copy from Time Magazine, our latest issue, the recent issue. What do you make of this woman, the 16-year-old woman, pregnant, 9 months pregnant, after being raped by many soldiers? And they first shot her husband, shot her children. Now she was kept alive. She preferred the death by bullet to being raped, to be humiliated. Nobody touches her anymore. What a tragic end. Wartime rape, wartime crime, and it's a reality that brings you to the hearts and minds of your audience. And that's number two. Novelty is to help you keep in touch with reality. This is not a speech contest for high schoolers or junior high schoolers. This is for the people who are watching what's going on outside Japan. Or this could happen to you in Japan. Next moment, anything can happen to you. So this might help you a little bit. So, now that's the fun part of it. So, first, you're going to give you some story that makes other people excited. And then the hard part is something you need to know. Not just because you love to know, but you need to know that keep your eyes wide open So trying to stay in touch with reality, trying to stay on top of the news. Novelty is something new, without which your story will go stale like a champagne that goes flat in a matter of a second. Memorable! Last but not least, you have heard the speech. You want to keep it in the back of your mind forever to, can I say, crystallize your thought in a neat form. Why am I telling you all this? About the woman who is 9 months pregnant because she has been raped by soldiers. That's a reality. What I'm telling you that, because I've been telling you from the beginning the story of social insects. Well, grasshoppers, locusts may not be a social insect, but very close to that. Because, as I told you earlier, locusts have two phases of development, solitary phase and migratory phase. Migratory means they're groupish, gregarious, going together so they're ready to go along to get along, whereas usually, or Chinese, or any Mongolian for that matter, looks very calm and stationary, solitary, but turns aggressive, rapacious, and raping women, raping soldiers, raping other territories, including their family. This could happen to you. When the climate changes, your mind mentality changes. If you get raped, your physical damage might go. But what about the mental damage that goes on forever? So that's war. So you have every reason to stay away from war. But now, let me tell you a story about the kinds of insects that they deserve. They deserve their own particular behaviors, modus operandi, like ants curl around, go zigzag, whereas bees go straight like an arrow. Bees, wasps, in the United States represent Donald Trump, a white Anglo-Saxon Protestant. He may not be a Protestant, let's face it, but the fact remains. A lot of Americans sting like bees. They have a principle, and most people representing monolithic cultures. One God, Almighty God, is ready to fight. Taking the stick out of the closet and swing it around, terrible swift sword. That could happen to you when you change color, like locusts. They change color, and the colors of behavior, their facial expression, sometimes they turn into Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. This could happen to you. When you're given a certain condition, you can morph into an entirely different human identity. So that's going to scare the head out of us. So the ants and bees are always at the war with each other. Now, if you go beyond the conflict with the ants and bees, you become a spider, spin the web, consisting of spokes and spirals. The spiders know how to have it both ways. So we have a long road to travel because make it to the top of the food chain. Top of the food chain. はい、それではまとめてみたいと思います。いいスピーチとは何か、Powerful presentation とは何か、Inspirational presentation、人の考え方、人生を変えるぐらいの影響力があるスピーチというのはビジュアルでなきゃいけないんですよな。英語の発音だけじゃありません。単語力だけじゃありません。相手のハートに響くかどうかと。これが問われます。テッドは3点言ってます。まずそのエモーショナル、心に響くかどうか。感動する かどうか。2番目、ノボ、その現実的に、その話は昨日もテレビで聞いたなというこの身近な問題、過去の話をしても根実性があるかどうかが問われます。3番目、メロボルというのは長く続くかどうかです。関西の面白いのは、私なんか巨人阪神っていうのはスピーチが面白いですね。2つの漫才、笑いというのはすぐ消えます。しかし泣きというのは何十回何百回聞いても同じところで泣きますね。持続性があるんですよ。笑いっていうのは短期決戦型ですけどね。そうすると最初のエモーショナルは火と水です。俺がっていう場合で、私ができるんだ、あなた方もできますよと水のような気持ちで下に流れていきます。火は上に上がりますが、水はあまねく広がってまいります。それからノベルティと風ですね。リアリティで現実が何が起こっているかどうかがスピーチの鍵になります。それ3番目がメモラブルで石ですね。ロックですね。これはですね、記憶に残ってあの話をもう一度聞きたいなという場合ね、あの話をもう一回聞きたいっていうのはいいスピーチなんですね。その話を聞きたいともういいよってこれダメなんですよね。この3点は火と水、それから風、石、この3つの4つの角度ができると真ん中に空ができます。この人の話はまた聞いてやろうと、そういうような空が天と地に向かいますね。これが六角で上となります。武士道の原点はそこにあります。それでは道弘松本ノーネスチャンネル東京ジャパン